to your beginner snare drum tutorial. To any elementary school kids learning to find their passion in music, or to some grown man sitting in his office watching this video, to whomever it may concern, today we are going to look at the basics of playing a concert snare drum while learning our first exercise, 8 on a hand. Before we even start playing, number 1, safety first. You're probably thinking, how could a snare drum hurt me? But it's quite loud. So I'm in a very small room and with no windows, and this is very loud. So I'm wearing earplugs, and I recommend you do the same if you're playing indoors, even outdoors. Snare drums are very loud. You're thinking, what sticks should I use? So if you have weird Guitar Hero sticks that you taped for your 5th grade holiday concert, I recommend getting an upgrade. Also, you don't want to use marching sticks on a concert snare. You may think, oh my god, they're so fun, they're thick, yay, but no, because they're heavy and they could damage the snare drum, and we don't want that. What we do want is some nice concert snare drum sticks. I am using these ones with the little flag on them, because the flag can really help you, as we're going to see in 1 second. So if you can find these ones, these would be great. And you can get these pretty much anywhere, in a music store. Ask Mr. Morgan, or if you are Mr. Morgan, you would know. Now we're going to get into how to hold the sticks. Found your sticks, found your snare drum, safety first. Now, how do you hold them? So, holding the snare drum sticks. So, if you have these Vic Firth ones, there's a little flag on it, and then you put your thumb on that flag, and then this is like the main position, but then you just wrap your fingers around it like that, so that you can comfortably hold it like so. Basically, there's a lot of wrong things, but if you find the fulcrum right here, and then you wrap your fingers around, and you don't squeeze it, you just kind of lightly hold it. The left hand is the same thing. You put your thumb on the flag, if you have one, and then wrap your fingers around, and then you hold it like so. And then you play in the center of the drum. You can play differently if you want a different sound or different dynamics, but generally you're going to play pretty much in the middle. You can play a little bit above it, but I mean, why do that when you can just play in the middle? So when you hit it, you don't want to move your entire arm up, because you're just going to end up looking really stupid. So you're going to move your wrist. Your wrist hits it more. You do not want to go like this. That's terrible. You want to slightly move your wrist to make a downstroke. Or when we play 8 on a hand later, you're going to rebound up. So it's going to look like this. Alright, now we got all our basic fundamentals of holding the stick, where to put the snare drum, all of that. Now, it's playtime. It's now time to learn 8 on a hand. 8 on a hand is a very basic exercise that a lot of snare drummers use, even professional ones, to get their wrists warmed up before they play. So basically, all it is you do 8 on a hand. Wow! So, also, before we start playing, I should mention one more thing, which is stick heights. So stick heights are very important because on a wind instrument, to make it louder, you just blow harder. But for percussion, it's the stick height, because the higher you are, the louder it's going to be. If you're down here, it's going to be a lot quieter. So this is a basic 3, 5, 7, 9, 15. We're not going to be playing any 15s. That's for more like marching band, unless you're doing something crazy in concert band, which I would really like to see. So we're going to start 8 on a hand using a basic 7, 9-ish height from the snare drum. So what you're going to do is you're going to play 8 strokes on the right hand, and then 8 strokes on the left hand. And then there's more, but we'll start with that first. So this is what it looks like. Now, to add on to that, after you do 8 on the right and 8 on the left, then you're going to do 8 with both sticks. So you're going to hit the drum at the same time with both your sticks. So it's going to look like this. So now, with those 3 sections together, it's going to sound like this. And when you're doing the transition between one section and another, you want to make it really even, because if you start making the transition kind of really sloppy, it's going to sound bad. So instead of doing like this,
ew.
See that transition? That was kind of really bad. So instead of like doing that, like rushing to the next hand, you don't need to rush, take your time, it's okay. You want to make them really even for all the transitions. Next, we're going to add on a few more sections, which are not that different from the ones we just did. So you did right, left, both. Now we're going to do right, left, right. You're going to add 3 more. So you're going to add 24 beats. So to put that together, it's going to sound like this. Now, one thing to remember, when you're playing your tacit hand, the one that is not playing anything, it's just kind of sitting there, make sure it doesn't move around because that just looks really awkward. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep it still while the other one is playing. When you're watching someone else play their instrument, you don't move all around, you know? It's kind of annoying. You don't want to. One mistake that I've seen people do is that when they do the both part of the exercise, they tend to hit it a lot louder just because when you hit it, the snare drum with both hands, it's really exciting. Like, oh my god, look at that, I'm hitting a snare drum with both hands. Wow. You want to keep the stick height the same as you do when you're playing just one hand. Now, after you have that section, there's only 2 more sections to add on to that. Yay! You have right, left, both, right, left, right. Now we add both, left, 1. So the whole thing together is basically this. And another important note is make sure you're not accenting the first hand, like the first note of each hand. There's many variations of this exercise, but this basic exercise that I'm communicating to you right now, don't accent them, because if you get in the habit of just accenting when it's a downbeat, you're gonna go get into some trouble at some point. So that's the basic exercise. You do it to warm up whenever you play. There's a lot of other exercises that are similar to this that you can do as well, but this is one of my personal favorites because it's very simple, but if you do it like your technique is wrong, it'll affect a lot of other things that you play, like more complicated stuff. So I hope you've learned something from this video. If you have any questions, don't ask me.